Let's get this clear right from the beginning. Golf is rotation. To make a powerful, consistent, and safe golf move, every joint from your ankle to the base of your skull has to do their part in executing a turn. Anything less than full contribution will amount to less power, less consistency, and more injuries. To take it a step further, the hips are command central for golf swing rotation and the generation of golf swing power. But the shoulders are the proverbial transmission of that power. Here's how that works. To the degree that you can make a fluid and steady shoulder turn, you'll be able to generate the extra torque and clubhead speed. This move is what allows you to gain those extra yards of distance off the tee that will ultimately lead to longer shots and lower scores. Now that looks good on paper, but how do you actually make adding those extra yards a reality, especially when 100% of golfers have one or more areas that are tight, crooked, not moving properly, or flat out broken? Obviously, we get the ball down the course, but at what cost? Added strokes, higher scores, and more lower back pain for all of our troubles. But what if I told you that when you learn the shoulder turn principles, you'll have a reliable blueprint for squeezing every ounce of power that you can from your golf swing and without hurting yourself? This is what the shoulder turn cheat sheet is all about. So let's begin. Step 1, head posture. Your head to neck connection is command central for your golf swing control. Unlocking the base of your skull and balancing head tilt is top priority. Step 2, neck rotation. This is the gatekeeper to starting a clean shoulder turn. The neck must be cleared of all restrictions, front to back, side to side. It is only then that the neck and shoulders can be free to rotate properly. Step 3, T-spine control. The thoracic spine, or T-spine, forms the structure for not only a clean shoulder turn, but the entire golf swing from setup to follow through. To the degree that you cannot control and extend your T-spine, you will lose torque, power, and distance in your golf swing. Step 4, shoulder mobility. Shoulder girdle and rotator cuff mobility act as the transfer case that distributes the power that's generated during the shoulder turn. The shoulders also allow for proper and consistent arm position. Keep in mind that the shoulder is the slave to the T-spine, so these steps must be followed in the exact order. Step 5, spine to hip integration. Once steps 1 through 4 are complete, it's time to integrate this new skill set into your golf swing. This is done with simulation drills as well as hitting balls immediately after completing your shoulder mobility sequence. Now, if you do not already have my fundamental routine, the triple threat golf swing program, I will be referring to that, so I do apologize if you do not have it. If you do not, there probably is going to be somewhere on this page for you to access that. The stronger your foundation, the more stable it is. Anything that you build on top of it will be easier to acquire the skills. So let's keep that in mind. But with that being said, I bring that up because the way I'm going to outline the drills and the techniques in this class are going to be based on the conditioning pyramid that is used throughout the whole maximum golf performance curriculum and specifically in the triple threat golf swing. When dealing with any performance issue with your golf swing, whether it's head control, shoulder turn, swing plane, hip coil, and overall mobility, I always like to use a 5-step approach. Flexibility, mobility, balance, strength, and power. With flexibility and posture at the bottom, that's your foundation. And then you go to mobility, which is the ability to move and access the new flexibility. Then you go to strength, which is the ability to generate force outside of speed. And then you finish up with power, which is the ability to apply force with speed. So if you're following those steps in the right order, regardless of your goal, you're going to be in a good space. This is how I'm going to approach this class and to help you understand how to prioritize your efforts based on how you are presenting right now. So after working with golfers at this point for 22 years, I can safely say that 100% of golfers will benefit from addressing, fine-tuning, reestablishing normal posture. So that's where the foundation comes from. The first thing you want to look at in trying to make a better shoulder turn is your posture, because from there, everything comes off of that. Good movement always begins and ends in good posture. I like golf because it doesn't lie. You know, if your posture's on, more than likely you're going to hit the ball more consistently. So we start with posture, and with posture, You start with the head. The head always wins. And the head, the posture in the head, the mechanics of the head and neck affect the entire body all the way down the chain. So if you can address what's going on in your head, I guarantee you're going to improve your shoulder turn. That's basic human biomechanics and human movement. So when looking at the head first, you want to look at your head posture. Forward head posture. If you have forward head posture, meaning that your head is jutting forward of your body in excess, you want to address that. That means that you want to get your head on top of your frame. So if I was looking at you standing upright from the side, I want to see your head stacked on top of your body within a certain range. I know that if your head is forward of that range, there are going to be compensation patterns down your body. So it goes like this. If your head is 3.5 centimeters or more forward of the center point, you're going to have excessive strain on your whole body because it's basic physics. So for every inch that your head moves forward, you add 10 pounds of loading to your frame, particularly your neck muscles that hold your head up. And then obviously the neck muscles will go into your shoulder muscles, and then your shoulders therefore goes into your mid spine, low back, and there you have it. So this is how that one aspect of your posture and your mechanics can just create this giant domino effect. So addressing head posture by making sure the muscles and the movements are balanced. You want to stretch the short and tight muscles, and you want to excite, tone, facilitate the long and weak muscles. In this case, the short and tight muscles will be the muscles that are right at the base of your skull. We call those muscles sub-occipital muscles, meaning below the occiput or below the base of the skull. And as your head moves forward, away from ideal posture, those muscles, those little mini muscles that typically get tight when you get overly stressed or if you have chronic neck issues, that's the area that gets really tight. And those muscles get short as your head moves forward because your brain, your eyes, and the way your vestibular or your balance system navigates gravity and light and the environment, it wants to keep your eyes level with the horizon. So when your head moves forward, you're not going to look down, you're going to look forward. So if your head's moving forward and your eyes are up, that means your neck has to tilt up in this funky position that closes off the space in the back of your neck, which makes those muscles tight, which then creates changes in your neck. This is not good. Right at this point, your shoulder turn is already compromised. If that occiput is jammed, if you have forward head posture, that means you automatically will lose rotation in that area, which means that everything below that area is going to be compromised. When you have forward head posture, it then restricts the rotation in your neck, which then restricts your shoulder turn. I know what you might be thinking. My head isn't rotating during the golf swing. Here's how it actually works. Your head is rotating. Your neck and head are still navigating rotational forces. Your head isn't moving, but your shoulders are moving. But your neck and spine are still rotating. Your head is just fixed, which is actually a more difficult movement pattern. So that's where the fun begins. When you start making these little changes, these little adjustments to your posture and your mechanics, you can start to make improvements right away. And it doesn't take a lot, and it doesn't have to be this huge exerted effort. It's just a little bit of effort executed consistently, and you'll gradually start to unwind yourself and gradually add those extra degrees of turn a little bit at a time. That's the approach that I'm hoping that you take. I mean, either way works. As long as you're getting results, I'm happy, but I'm just giving you potential solutions to be able to utilize these techniques as best as you can with the amount of time that you have and the available focus that you're able to put towards this. This is what the drills and the sequences are doing inside of shoulder turn secrets. It's slowly, gradually start helping you restore those movements back so you, again, reduce as many compensation patterns as you can. So we're stretching those suboccipital muscles, and we're strengthening, adding integrity to the muscles that are in front of the neck. Because what happens here is that as the head moves forward, the suboccipital muscles shorten, then those muscles that are in the front of your neck get long and weak, and that creates a problem because those muscles are actually what create the shoulder turn in terms of acceleration and your body being able to connect your head control with your shoulder turn. So all those muscles along the sides of your neck and in the front, those are the bridge between your head and your shoulders. This is how a few inches of movement forward of your head creates this crazy compensation pattern. So we'll do things to kind of strengthen those, and we'll put those muscles in a position to actually support the load that's being generated from the shoulders and not jam the body. Then the next step you want to do is focus on getting that thoracic spine loose. That's where a lot of the middle back exercises and mobility, that's where the towel mobilization comes in at, to loosen those areas. As you get older, because of years of forward head posture, the spine, the middle back area will become kyphotic, meaning that we have excessive curve in the upper middle back. And this will affect shoulder turn, because for every degree that you can't extend your middle back area, or for every degree that you can't straighten yourself up, you have to try to compensate by dominating the golf swing with your arms. This is a no-no for all the reasons that I've mentioned before. If you can't extend your T-spine, it's very difficult to fully access your powerhouse. So this one area, again, has a giant ripple effect on your mechanics. But again, the good news is that with a little consistency, you have the tools, you have the movements, you just have to execute them. You can start to slowly unwind yourself. I've personally been able to increase the range of motion in men who are in their 70s within 6 weeks. So I know that anyone can do it. You just have to approach it the right way and consistently. So we got suboccipitals, forward head posture, muscles in the front of the neck, mobilizing the T-spine. Once you have that extra movement back in your T-spine, now we can strengthen that area. That whole idea of stretching the short tight and strengthening the long and weak. This is especially true in the thoracic spine, because here's how it works. Head goes forward, shoulders round forward. You get that roundness in your upper back. You get that kyphosis. So in that posture, the muscles that are in the front of your body, your chest, and even your upper abdominals get short and tight. And the muscles that are in your middle back area get long and weak. So we have to strengthen that upper middle back to pull you up. A lot of times when guys get pain in that area, it feels tight, and the feeling that they feel isn't exactly tightness. But what's happening technically is that those muscles are what we call taut, meaning that the muscles are actually being overstretched to the point where the fibers, the body is activating the braking mechanism in the muscle to keep it from stretching more. So it tightens the muscle up to keep it from moving. And that's a protection mechanism to keep you from moving any further. We actually have to strengthen that area with extension exercises, bringing the shoulder blades together and strengthening with exercises that bring the shoulder blades together, so you can get that extension, which means you're going to get that better shoulder turn through the middle back area. That's your axle of your whole shoulder turn, is that T-spine. That's where all of your range of motion, which will affect everything above it and below it. So this area is really, 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 really important. Just to take it up another notch, that's where the swing plane and hip coil comes in at, because if you can't set your hips properly, that also affects your ability to position your T-spine. You'll learn all that in hip coil secrets, by the way, but I digress. So now that we have the T-spine, it's mobile, you have the new movement. Now you can start to reintegrate that new positioning back into your golf swing. So that's where you start to do swing simulation drills, to be able to reintegrate, to download the new software, and to start to retrain yourself to make the new position and the new mechanics permanent. That's the sequence to systematically improving your shoulder turn. That's your corrective part. Once you go through your corrective part, like I've discussed, then you can start to stack on your high performance exercises, the things that you'll learn within the maximum golf performance curriculum. So now that you have a priority, you can now go back and refer to this and see where you are. I've given you a couple of benchmarks that you can use. Forward head posture. 100% of people have forward head posture, just to the degree that it's compromising your body. So you can look at your forward head posture, and you're going to look at your ability to extend that T-spine and your ability to hold your address posture with perfect posture. The test that I give all my clients, and one that you should be able to pass, is that you should be able to hold your address posture for 3 minutes in perfect posture without getting tired. If you can hold that for 3 minutes, your nervous system, your ability to maintain control over your swing will probably be adequate for you to start focusing on the other stuff. So that's probably one of the first things that I do with any client that sees me privately, is I give them the setup test, and then from there I'll know where we need to be. So this is what's up. Go back, review this. You're going to apply all the exercises and drills that you learned in Shoulder Turn Secrets to the concepts and the frameworks that I've just given you here. So to wrap it up, forward head posture, we want to stretch the suboccipitals, strengthen the muscles in the front of the neck. T-spine, Mobilize first, strengthen second, stretch the upper abdominals, stretch the chest, and then strengthen the mid-back area, and then swing simulation drills to reintegrate it back into your golf swing, while keeping in mind that the hips must be set properly, obviously, to get the best shoulder turn in a full swing. All right, good luck and hit it long. To get full access to these training techniques, get shoulder turn secrets, click the link in the description below.